Welcome to video number 2 in this 3-part mini-series on how to start the process on becoming a yoga teacher or doing a yoga teacher training. If you didn't see part 1, go back and watch that. It is asking the question and helping you answer when is the right time, or are you ready for yoga teacher training. This video, we're talking about how to pick the right training, the perfect training, what's right for you. So let's go through that. And there are 5 things that you need to know. I'll list them real quick and then we'll go in depth. Number 1, the teacher. Number 2, the style. Number 3, location. Number 4, duration. And the last and least, shouldn't matter as much, is the price. So let's talk about each of those. First of all, if you're looking to do a yoga teacher training and you already are like obsessed with a teacher, or there's someone that you just love taking classes from and would love to learn on how to go deeper in yoga practice with them, that might be your deciding factor, is that teacher. So you're going to plan your life accordingly, that when they offer a training, that you're going to do their training. If it's an intensive, meaning like a short duration of time, or if it's extended over a long period of time, you just love this teacher, so you're going to do their training. You might travel far to see them. You might clear your schedule, take off from work, find babysitters because you love this teacher. That's actually what I did. So I had a teacher that I absolutely knew I wanted to get trained from. So I did a 2-week intensive driving from Fargo, North Dakota to Dallas, Texas to train for their intensive yoga teacher training because I really wanted to train with a specific teacher. And I liked the style, I liked all that. So the teacher kind of encompassed everything, the style, the location, all of that. All my decisions were made because I wanted to learn from this one teacher. You might not have a teacher or a teacher that does yoga teacher training. So you'll have to think of something else or a different guideline to help you find a training. The next thing you would think about is the style. So if you really enjoy yin yoga or vinyasa or ashtanga or bikram or whatever it is, if there's a style that you're drawn to or that you know that you would love to teach, you can Google search too. Like, I'm in the Seattle area, so I would say vinyasa yoga teacher training 200-hour in Seattle, or bikram hot yoga teacher training, or you can search. Yes, you can do Google searches. So search for the location you're in if you want to do it local. So if there's a certain style, maybe look for the teacher that is best known in that style. For example, like power yoga, or if you're doing Baptiste power yoga, you might want to go to a Baron Baptiste training with him himself. Or for instance, I really love Budokon yoga, and the reason I went to that training based on the style. I didn't know who the teacher was at all, but I wanted to go to that training, so I flew to Miami and did yoga teacher training with Budokon yoga with Cameron Shane. So I got to know my teacher after I got to know the style. So there's that way. I think that's the second best way to go about it. And then the third is location. And if you have the other two and you have options, then there are 2 different ways you could do this. You could do, for location, you could do local or destination. Or there's a combination of both, which is kind of what I did. So destination, there's so many cool retreats out in Bali or Costa Rica. So if that's important to you and you want to just like have a good time in off other country, yeah, pick a training based on location. So you can look up Costa Rica yoga teacher trainings, and some of them are very basic, broad yoga topics like hatha yoga teacher training, or just like regular whatever yoga teacher training for the everyday person in Costa Rica. So you can look up by location. So if you're looking for a destination, pick the place you want to go and look it up in Google. And then you can, or if you want to do local, you would just go to your local studio, or if you're like, I just need a weekend training or something, like I'm close to Seattle but I have a family, so I could travel an hour or 2 every so often into Seattle, which is still kind of local. So looking up that kind of thing just based on location. I will be hosting a yoga teacher training hopefully this fall, and it's at the YMCA, and many people will probably join because it's local and convenient. So the convenience of a local one, you're not going to get the exact same experience, like the feel-good experience as you would in an often tropical location, but you'll still get a good training, a great training probably. Mine was a combination of both, only because I chose my first teacher training based on the teacher, so I had to go to the Dallas location. It wasn't like a destination. I didn't like eat with anybody. I had to get my own hotel. I had to get all of that stuff. So it wasn't an all-encompassing ashram style, which means like you eat, sleep, and do everything together. But it wasn't an intensive, a 2-week intensive. So I did it was, like I said, kind of a mix. Most people that attended that training were local. 2 of us were not, and we're still really great friends. And I taught another 200-hour yoga training at the other person who was kind of a destination for. Anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. Let's go back. So location, you can do it based on location. Duration meaning like the timing of the training. There's 2 different kinds, intensives or longer drawn out trainings. 2 very common ones is like a 2 or 3 week intensive. And that's for destinations or like summertime or usually in the summertime. So it's real quick. The benefit to that is it's like all immersive, all encompassing. You just like get in and you go, and you're like, your life is then yoga and training. And it's this magical experience. Most of my trainings have been intensive that I've attended. That's what I prefer. But then there's the longer drawn out ones. So maybe it's like 1 weekend a month, and many have this like 9-month birthing the baby 1 week in a month type of thing. So it's like a full weekend once a month for 9 months to a year. Some are even like 2 or 3 years. Some you can piece together over many years. Like the Yoga Fit training, you can do a module a year and not have it done for like a long time. So there's the longer periods, which that's a good option for those of you who can't get away for a few weeks at a time, who need it spaced out, who maybe need more of a payment plan or something like that. So, or if your teacher is offering only that and that's who you want to train with, then you do your longer duration. And the downside of that is that you do get those breaks in between which fill your mind and your life with a little bit of doubt, and you kind of get out of it for a while. So yes, you get more time to practice, but are you actually going to practice? Anyway, either way, whatever fits your schedule best. If that's important to you, if you want something quick at a certain time frame, you might choose a training based on that. If you want it longer drawn out, that too. Okay, last one is price. And I only put this in here because I do think there are some variations when it comes to price. Let's say you want to train with a certain teacher and you want the style and this location, and it's like a month-long intensive in Thailand and you're so excited, but it's like $12,000. And you just don't have that right now, but you still want to do a yoga teacher training. You might have to put that on the back burner for now and do maybe a more local training or something that costs a little bit less. Yes, there are ways you can get like scholarships. Please don't ever make a GoFundMe account for yoga training. That is the tackiest thing you can do because it's your education. And anyway, don't get me on that. So you might have to put that bigger training on the back burner for now if you want to get started right away, you might have to choose a training based on just the price. Like maybe it's local, it's not your ideal, but it's something that works. I too got started that way, where I did a weekend training with Yoga Fit. It was $300 and it ran me, it was $500. I had a couple $100 discount with the gym I was at, and I got the basics in a weekend. And then I taught for about 10 months or so before I took my actual 200-hour training. For a 200-hour training, you can expect to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 or even more, depending on where you go. A lot of them are about that $3,000 mark, so plan for that. And sometimes there are payment plans. So just talk, and a lot of times the payment plans aren't offered. You just have to talk it through with the person setting it up. So anyway, those were the 5 things to consider when picking a YTT: teacher, style, location, your duration of time, and price. I hope that was helpful. Please go off and do some Google searches. You can even search in Facebook or different places, Instagram, hashtags for teacher training for your location or teacher or style. And good luck, and make sure you subscribe, like, follow, all that stuff at Ashes Yoga. Bye. Watch the next video too.